back to the Swearwolves. I'm Bret.
I'm David.
David.
Yes, sir.
How are you, my friend?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. I just got done seeing you, like, in person.
Yes, and yet I haven't seen you. It's very strange. It's a paradox.
When this airs, we will have just gotten back from Mad Monster Party, Arizona.
Yeah.
But we're not going to have any updates on that in this episode.
Because we haven't actually gone yet.
We haven't. We haven't. So next episode, despite of that, the next episode we still won't have gone.
That is also true.
In real life. But despite of that, it's just the turnaround time because Mad Monster ends on Sunday.
Yeah.
And so we don't really have enough time to like insert any type of Mad Monster like recap.
Yeah,
but
exactly. Because our episodes drop midnight Eastern, which is still technically Sunday for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. No time.
So we will have an update on Mad Monster and kind of talk about everything that happened there. But we'll do that next week, David.
Yep. Something to look forward to.
This week we're kind of talking about a movie though that is about a savage weekend, like the savage weekend that we just had at Mad Monster.
Doing a double feature of Weekend at Bernie's and Weekend at Bernie's 2.
No, yeah, and this is our 201st episode. This is the first episode where we're just going to be talking about one movie.
And what a movie.
And what a movie it was that we picked. Before we get into Savage Weekend, I did just want to give an update real quick. Robert Englund has signed my copy of Nightmare on Elm Street, the NES game.
Hell yeah, that's
and
awesome.
It's on its way back. And by the time people listen to this, I will have it in my possession. But I will throw a picture of it up on the screen right now of him holding it, and it being signed by him.
That's awesome. Yeah, you sent me the photo. It looks really, really cool.
Yeah.
I'm jealous.
So, you also got something recently in the mail that we talked about last episode.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You actually received it.
I did. Yeah, so last Halloween, I think I mentioned this last episode, but I commissioned a McCready hat from The Thing. And I don't know if it's out of frame or just out of frame, depending on how this is cropped, but it's actually right over my shoulder. Mm-hmm. And it's awesome. It's pretty cool. I was wearing it around the house, and my wife was like, please put that away. Find a place for that other than your head.
It does look cool. And David sent me this photo of him in the whole getup. He's got I just tweeted not too long ago about how much I hate guys who cosplay.
I know, and I thought of you as I was doing it. I was like, I should mention something about cosplay.
Well, okay. Let me clarify. Well, let me say something first, and then I'll clarify that statement.
Yeah.
But David sent me a photo of him in the full getup, and you have like is it the correct bomber jacket?
Yeah, I have the exact model, like, and make jacket that Kurt Russell wears in The Thing.
And the sunglasses.
Yep, I got the sunglasses. I got
the hat.
Yeah, the hoodie, the hat, the flight suit, the boots, the gloves. Like, I have basically everything but a flamethrower at this point. But for Halloween, like, not for cosplaying at conventions.
Okay, so that's what I was gonna say. Is like, I don't mind people dressing up for like Halloween or for a costume party, or even every so often, like, hey, I'm gonna go to this convention, I'm gonna put on a costume, right?
Yeah,
I'm okay with that. What I don't like is these motherfuckers who dress up like they're fucking Michael Myers or Jason or something, and they have a fucking Instagram account, and they're like, the Michael Myers cosplayer 2749, and
they're like making posts like as Michael Myers.
Yeah, and they go
like
out
felt
and they're
cute,
all,
might stab someone today.
Yeah. And they're doing all that. They're doing all that stupid shit. And, And then they get invited to fucking conventions.
As a guest.
As a guest.
What?
Like,
just a regular dude.
Oh, Michael Myers _20752 is going to be
Get the fuck out of here. You're an accountant.
Creepy.
Your name's Kip.
And you suck.
Yeah, you suck.
No one at your office likes you.
Yeah. You have to pay for sex. Kip.
That's what I hate. I don't hate cosplaying in general, but I hate that. I hate people who are like, what do you do for a living? Oh, I'm a cosplayer. No, you're not.
Get the
All
fuck
right?
out of here.
You're an asshole.
You're a nerd. You're an asshole and a geek. Well, I couldn't cosplay in that thing even if I wanted to, because just in the 10 minutes I was wearing it to snap a couple photos, I was sweating my balls off.
I was going to say,
So
did you lose like
fucking
20
warm.
pounds?
Yes. I thought about that. It's like if I ever needed to go on like a crash diet, like bikini season or something, just throw that get up on, do a couple laps around the house.
Well,
I'm all set.
You could bring it with you when you come out here. Like, if you come out here in the wintertime, you could bring it, and we could just walk around.
And just walk around like that in the neighborhood.
That's my little diatribe on cosplaying. But David, I do like your costume. We won't call
Thanks,
it a
man.
cosplay.
The
It's a
hat
costume.
it's fucking awesome. It's also now officially, I think, the most expensive article of clothing I've ever purchased.
Well, what I think, okay, because I asked you about this. Oh, he also commissioned a beard.
Oh yeah, I did.
Like,
I got a
fucking
beard wig.
This fucking Russian woman took fucking yak hair and sewed it together and made a. Is it yak hair?
It is yak hair, yeah.
Fucking asshole. He fucking commissioned. Okay, you can watch a video. Adam Savage did a video. Maybe I'll link it or not. I don't. It doesn't fucking matter. But Adam Savage did a video, and I think I shared it with you. I think I'm the one.
That's
who
where I
brought
got
it
the
to you.
idea. I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna totally reach out to this chick.
And he did.
Yeah, and she closed her Etsy shop. It's not even open anymore, so
Too many
limited
requests.
edition and shit. Yeah, I guess. But yeah,
he's
the
got
the beard is made of yak hair. The hat's made of beaver fur. Like, someone from PETA is gonna throw a bucket of
blood
paint on me.
you. I said to you a while ago, I was like, you're gonna wear this once, maybe twice,
Yeah.
and then it's gonna get dusty in a closet somewhere. So what I think you should do, David, and I'm still all for this, you need to buy a mannequin
And dress it up as
and dress
McCready.
it up, and it's like a life-size McCready.
That'd be badass. I would also get divorced, though. I think my wife would not approve. Unless I kept it like in the garage or something, and then brought it in like around Halloween or something.
What if
that
you-
she could probably.
What if you just
tolerate.
kept it in your game room?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. That's where I am right
Do it.
now, and there's not a whole lot
We're
of
gonna take a
room.
vote. We're going to take a vote. Everybody out there, if you're listening to this, I need you to hashtag David get a mannequin. I don't know how to spell all that shit. I don't even know how hashtags work. But how do you track that shit? I don't know. But just, I know people do it. Hashtag David get a mannequin.
We'll
I don't want
see.
you to get. I don't want you to get divorced, but I do want you to get a mannequin.
It might be worth it. I don't know.
I have thought about getting one myself. And
It would be
dressing
cool.
it and having a life-size action figure.
I would just dress it up in my clothes, so it was like a version of myself.
I'm just gonna do that and set it in front of my work camera for my meetings.
Yep. Doody doo. And then just pipe in like sounds of like computer typing. Like, oh, Brett's really at it today. He's fucking stone faced. He's not even moving. He's so locked in right now.
Yep.
You're just put your head down and work kind of guy.
I am. We're here to talk about Savage Weekend, David. We just had a
Yeah.
Savage Weekend. We're here to talk
We
about a
did.
Savage Weekend. Now, how did I hear about this movie? Had you ever heard of this movie?
No, God no.
Okay. This is how I heard about this movie. I have a saved eBay search for
Mhm.
Friday the 13th one sheet.
Oh, okay. For the poster collection.
Yeah, and I go on there. And I have 1 through 6. I don't have 7, 8, 9. I don't have anything past 1 through 6. But I'm always
Yeah.
looking. And the reason why is because those movies are kind of my lesser favorite movies.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I think I got 1 through 6, and that's it.
Yeah, and I think I have a couple of 1s and a couple of 2s.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's beside the point. I'm always looking for good deals on 7 through 12.
Right.
And kind of like, okay, well, maybe I can get a good one. Maybe I can get a cheap one, One of the ones that always comes up, I don't know why, I don't know if they just added Friday the 13th into the description or something, is a one sheet for Savage Weekend.
What's it
So I
even look
look-
like?
What's the one sheet look like?
Yeah.
It looks a lot like this.
Oh.
Anyway, so this one sheet used to come up all the time. Oh, it comes up. It still comes up because no one's buying it. And so I was like, I got to look this up. So I looked up Savage Weekend. And it said this movie was filmed in 1976. And it's the precursor to Friday the 13th and Halloween. And I stopped right there. And I'm like, all right.
I'm in.
I'm going to buy
Bring
this.
it on.
Or I'm not going to buy it. I'm going to watch it. I didn't buy the one sheet. But
I'm going to watch the movie and then make a decision.
yes. So that's how I came to pick this movie.
I look forward to finding out whether or not you now own the poster after watching the movie.
We'll see.
If I had a woman looked anything like you, I sure wouldn't let her alone.
Not since Hitchcock's Psycho has a motion picture held such thrill, such suspense, such hair-raising terror. And why? Because the horrors of Savage Weekend could happen to anyone in this audience.
Hey, Ryan, I thought they didn't allow no bathing suits in here.
Savage Weekend.
Savage Weekend came out. It was released. Okay, so this is the big hot topic of debate here. Technically, it was released in North America November 14th, 1980. So that's what we'll go with. Okay.
A 4-year delay.
But it was filmed in 1976 under the working title of The Upstate Murders. And it was initially marketed as The Killer Behind the Mask. But then the Cannon Group, known for quality films, the Cannon Group bought the rights and released it theatrically in North America. It says in mid-1979, but that was just like limited, and then it was like wide release, I guess, in 1980.
And then they changed the name to Savage Weekend?
Yep.
Sounds like if Fred Savage ever released a sex tape, that's what it would be called. It's Savage Weekend, like One Night in Paris.
Yes.
Fred
Savage, he
now
needs to get
prepare
on
yourself for Savage Weekend.
He needs to get on that. He needs to release a sex tape. You know, wouldn't it be like some pun on Wonder Years? Like the Boner
probably.
Years.
Boner Years.
Or something, I don't know. I was trying to find something that ended in ER. Ben Savage, his younger brother, could do one. Boy Meets World.
Yeah,
And
Boy Bangs World.
Boy Bangs World, and he just fucks anything.
Everyone.
Like, it doesn't matter.
Just goes all around the world, spreading his seed.
We got you, Savage Brothers. You guys could be the next Kardashians.
They could do one together in the same movie.
That
Savage
would be a
Weekend.
Savage Weekend.
Yeah.
That's like a threesome.
Dude, Savage Weekend at Bernie's is where
They fuck
like
a
the
dead
Savage
body?
Brothers fucking dead body. It's the necrophilia version. It caters to a very specific clientele.
Like one person. They're in jail.
me.
They should be in jail.
So gross. Don't do that, Savage Brothers. You're better than that.
Yeah, don't. I mean, like, if you're hurting for cash, we got ideas, but that's not one of them.
That's not one of them, no.
All
It
right,
was on
so
the list, but yeah, we scrapped that plan.
it's like way down on the list.
Yeah, way down, but it's
It'll
on the
get you-
list. I mean, let's be
It'll
honest.
get you notoriety.
Yeah.
Excuse me. It'll get you notoriety, but it's not going to get you the fame that you desire.
It's not worth
Savage
it in the long
Brothers.
run.
No.
No. Your dignity is worth more than that.
You know what? You guys just stay home. Really. Just stay home. Don't even come out anymore. We don't need to. We're going to throw the list away. Number one movie in the box office, November 14th, 1980. David, what do you think it was?
I'm going with Popeye, the Robin Williams version.
No. But we've had this conversation before, and you've guessed Popeye before.
I have?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
I want to say it was like for one, like Ghost Ship or some bullshit like
Okay.
that. One of those bullshit movies. But this movie was, we've talked about this, and the song, by the way, too. But it was Private Benjamin.
Okay. Yeah, we have talked about that. And recently, I think.
Yeah. So, and we've talked about how you've never seen it.
Yep.
But
And I don't
Goldie
remember
Hawn,
what the number...
Goldie Hawn's in Private Benjamin. And Goldie Hawn
Kurt Russell
had-
connection.
Kurt Russell
There you
connection.
go.
So there you go. It all
My
comes full
God.
circle.
Yep. This is a Kurt Russell episode now.
Number one song.
I'm going with Cars by Gary Newman.
Oh.
Here
Here in my car, I can go
I feel safe as summer. Yeah, I can lock all my doors
in cars.
in cars. Yep.
And then there was also that song, Walking in L.A. Walking in L.A. He didn't do that song, but those songs always remind me of each other because one's about cars and one's about walking in L.A. and nobody walks in L.A. And then you could throw a song by the Cars.
Yeah, there you go.
You might think I'm crazy.
Dun 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 dun.
No, that was not. It was Woman in Love by Barbra Streisand. You know what movies I think that was? I think it was Alligator. Because that was recent.
Yeah, probably. That was,
Alligator.
that was just a few episodes ago.
Yeah. So it was Woman in Love. That's a dumb song. But I also looked up, because this movie was shown at the Cannes Film Festival, not in competition, because why would it be?
Yeah, this is a real film. Yeah.
But it was shown at the Cannes Film Festival, in 1978. So I just picked a date in the date range. Like,
Yeah.
I know it didn't come out they didn't show it on a Friday. They probably showed it on a Tuesday afternoon in Cannes. But May 19th, 1978, and I looked up, what do you think? You weren't even prepared, so I'll just tell you. May 19th, 1978, the #1 movie was The Buddy Holly Story. You ever seen that movie? With Gary Busey?
Yes, with Gary Busey. Yeah, it was good.
It's a great movie. I think, did he win an Oscar?
He got an Oscar nomination, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know if he won, but...
no, I don't think he did, but I think he got a nomination.
Yeah. And the #1 song was If I Can't Have You by Yvonne Elliman.
It sounds familiar.
If I can't have you, I don't want nobody.
Baby. If I can't have you.
That's from the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack.
Yeah, the 78 better movie and song than 1980.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. I do like that Buddy Holly story. Again, it's the same thing as La Bamba, because I know how it ends. They both die together, Richie Valens and Buddy Holly. They just need to make a big bopper movie next, and we'll be all set.
Yeah, complete the trilogy.
Savage Weekend was written and directed by David Paulson, with music by Dove Seltzer.
Fucking Dove Seltzer.
You're not supposed to... Oh, never mind. What is that shit called? Alka-Seltzer. Alka-Seltzer?
Yeah.
You're not supposed to give that to birds.
Don't give that to a dove. They'll explode. I always wondered if that was true as a kid.
It's gotta be.
You think so? The bird will blow up? That sounds like a fucking urban legend.
Well, David, will a bird blow up? Do birds like it when you blow on them? What?
Do birds like being blown?
Eat an Alka-Seltzer. A bird's diet may not require them to pass wind, but this doesn't mean they aren't equipped to do so. Also, gulls are experts at regurgitating their food and could easily evict an Alka-Seltzer from their stomach if they found themselves in discomfort. Consider this myth, well,
busted.
And truly busted.
Fucking Adam Savage.
Yeah.
Look at us.
Okay, music by Dove Seltzer, starring Christopher Alport as Nicky, James Dwyer as Robert, David Gale as Mac Macaulay. David Gale, we know best as
Reanimator.
A head in Reanimator and Bride of Reanimator.
That's right.
Creepy fucking head who like licks Barbara Crampton's naked body.
He's a real pervert.
Yeah, fucking David Gale. Fucking perv. He's dead, isn't he?
Yeah, he's dead.
Okay.
He died young.
Did he really?
Yeah, I think he was like in his 50s.
Oh, jeez. That's too bad.
Because he's been dead 30 years, I bet.
Fucking perv. What happens to pervs?
Fucking decapitated pervert. If he were alive, he'd be trying to make a porno with the fucking Savage Brothers. Like, can I get in on that, guys? You can bang my corpse.
He was 54. You're absolutely right. No, and he was probably a good guy. He doesn't really say so much about his death on Wikipedia, just that he died.
Bummer.
54. That does seem young, David.
Yeah.
When I was 24, 54 seemed like it might as well have been 94.
Yeah, not anymore though.
No, but he's in this. Devin Goldenberg as Jay, Marilyn Hamlin as Marie, Caitlin O'Heaney as Shirley, Jeffrey. There's other people. It doesn't fucking matter. William Sanderson. I've seen that guy before.
Which guy?
Otis. He played Otis.
Oh, yeah.
He's been in shit.
Yeah, I recognized him.
Runtime of this movie was 88 minutes, and the budget was $58,000. I don't have any box office.
Made no money.
$0.0 made.
I don't think it made much.
All right. Let's talk about the plot. What happens in this movie, David?
Well, we start off with like a weird Super 8 style opening credits with bluegrass music and some woman in a dress running through a forest. So I was confused right away. I was like, okay. And then someone stalking her. But I noticed the bluegrass music like starts and stops. Did you notice that? The music was very weird. Like it kept like cutting.
It's fucking
and then it
Dove
would start
Seltzer
again
for you.
Yeah, I don't know. Or if it was like a loop or something.
Yeah.
It was weird. And then we finally see that the woman who's facing the camera, the killer that we can't see, like approaches. And we get a glimpse of this guy with a chainsaw. But she does the old Austin Powers thing where she just stands there and emotes for 20 minutes. Like as the person walks closer. It's like, okay.
And this
and
is
then
all
the movie starts.
This is all the opening credits.
Yeah.
This is all like intercut with like starring David Gale, the fucking pervert, and fucking all this kind of shit, right?
Corey Savage. Ben Savage.
And it's like all this stuff, and she's getting chased, or we don't know exactly what's happening. And then we see this guy with the chainsaw, and again, like David said, and then it's just like, it's like a still frame, and it's like Savage Weekend.
Yeah. You're like, okay.
And then it goes to an apartment in New York City.
Yep. And then we're
And
like,
this-
is that the woman that was in the opening credits? I think maybe.
Yeah.
So okay, we get a little flash forward, I guess. Okay.
She's there with her kid, and her ex-husband comes to pick up the kid.
Yeah, and she introduces the ex-husband to her current boyfriend as her husband, which I thought was weird. She's like, "This is my husband." I was confused at first, and then later in the movie, I was like, "Wait a minute, no, they're not married. That's an ex." That
Unless
guy goes
she
from
was-
6 to midnight like immediately too, when she introduces the guy to her boyfriend, because
Yeah,
the dad tries to give the kid a baseball glove
The
or
boyfriend.
something.
The boyfriend.
Yeah,
tries
yeah,
to
yeah.
give
The boyfriend
kid.
does, yeah. And then the dad's like, "Get away from my son.
Don't you give him anything.
He doesn't like baseball.
He's gonna play cricket, and he's gonna fucking like
He's
it.
gonna play highlight, and he's gonna like it." All right.
Well, I just so happen to have this highlight thing. Well, he hates highlight now too.
He's moving on to lacrosse.
Well, I played lacrosse in college. Well, fuck you.
Fuck.
What
Fuck
didn't
you,
you
asshole.
do? You do everything.
You do everything. Oh. You banging my wife? You bang my wife?
This guy who's banging his wife now, though, he looks like he's double her age too, doesn't he?
Yes.
He's an old frumpy
and
dump.
yeah, and saying he seems like he's kind of out of shape. I was like, why? How'd this guy? Is he rich?
He must be.
Yeah, he's got to be.
He's building a boat.
Well, he is,
David.
because later we find out he's commissioning a boat.
He's building an ark. It's fucking Noah.
Don't feed any of the Dove Seltzer. I need him on the ark.
So she tells her ex-husband, like, hey, we're going away for the weekend up to this guy's fucking cabin or some shit with this guy, Nikki, who's like their gay friend,
Yeah.
and her sister, Shirley. And we'll be up there this weekend. So that's why he's coming to take the kid.
Right.
And I'm gonna we'll talk more about the movie, but David, when you were watching this, were you like, when is something gonna fucking happen?
Oh, I did this. I had that conversation with myself for about 45 minutes,
Yeah, I believe it's,
which is when we get our first kill. By the way, I had to write it down.
Was it 45?
40
Because I thought it was
45
like
minutes,
around
I
50,
think.
50 or 50.
Was it? Maybe, I don't know.
But you could be right. I did watch this on I don't know what I watched it on, but it had commercials.
Yeah. You watched it on Tubi, because I think you told me that it was on Tubi, and then I went to watch it, and like I watched it on July 1st when they switch like monthly
yeah.
stuff, and it dropped, so I had to watch it on YouTube.
Yeah. Was it free on YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, that's good. That's good to know. Well, there was commercials, so maybe that's why I got a couple extra minutes on there. But it's right around the 50-minute mark that we get our first kill. But nothing happens at all up until that first kill.
Yeah, it's a lot of
Like,
nothing.
except for sex.
But
My
not-
wife kept...
but not even.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. But my wife kept coming in to the room and leaving the room, and every time she came in, people were fucking.
Someone was horny.
Yes, people were fucking. Now, you're absolutely correct. They're not doing it the proper way. Like, there is no way that the way that these people were supposedly fucking would ever work. Unless the guy has, like, a really, like, hooked penis, or the woman's vagina is on her hip or in her navel. Because there's this one scene where they're fucking. I think it's the first sex scene. Oh, let's talk about that first sex scene real quick.
Well, dude, real quick.
Yeah.
I've discovered something. So the reason why we have a difference in time on the when the kill happens is I apparently must have seen an edited version on YouTube because I didn't get any sex or nudity.
You didn't?
No.
Oh, you missed out.
Tell
dude.
me everything.
All right. Well, before I get into
Describe it in detail.
Okay. Before I get into the sex, let's talk about this gay friend, Nikki. Okay.
Yeah.
He goes into this bar, and he's like just goes in there to fuck with the rednecks,
Yeah, with like the homophobes in the town or whatever.
which I'm all for.
Yeah.
And he goes in there, and clearly it's like the record, like, everybody
Yeah,
looks
like,
at
who's
him when
this
he
guy?
walks in. And he's like, I'll have a martini. And the guy's like, what?
Tiger shark. A what?
Exactly. But he sits down at the bar, and these two rednecks come over, and they're like, I got something for you. And I'll give you... They wanted to fuck him.
See, I thought they were just fucking with him. I don't
They
know.
were.
But he was
They
like,
were.
oh, is it that little 2-inch thing that your mom sucks on every night? I was like, oh,
Yes.
shit.
Yeah. And
Nikki
then they're
ain't
like...
fucking around.
No. And then they get into a fight, and Nikki proceeds to kick the shit out of them.
Yeah, he does.
And
And he
it's
says something
awesome.
like he's from Brooklyn or the Bronx or something.
Yeah.
Nikki fucking knees him in the balls. He fights dirty.
Hey, man. You got to do... A man's got to do
But-
what a man's got to
Yeah,
do.
by all
And
means necessary.
if I'm ever in a fight with anybody and they have testicles, I'm kicking them in the...
You gonna
Even if they
knee?
don't have testicles, I'm still kicking them in the crotch because I don't care. If someone's trying to kill me,
Yeah,
I'm
I
kicking them
guess.
in the crotch.
There's a fight later in the movie where somebody else gets kneed in the balls, and it's like, this director's got a boner for kneeing people in the balls.
Well, it makes a man go down. So,
Do you think he was just like off camera, like while they were shooting, he's like, knee him in the balls?
again. So, they have this fight. Okay. So, there is a weird dynamic between Shirley, the sister of the main girl, and Nikki, the gay guy, because they're like friends, and he's clearly gay and she's likes boys, but then they like each other, and like this Nikki guy gets jealous, and this is what happens in the first sex scene. And I don't know if you
okay.
even saw any of this, but
Nope.
so do you remember the scene where they're out on the boat and
Yes.
they're going fishing,
Yes.
and David Gale
And she's
is
like,
there?
and the girl's like touching herself and being all weird.
Yeah, well,
Marie?
David Gale. Well, I guess his name is Mac. Mac Macaulay is telling a story about some weirdo named Otis.
Yes.
Okay.
And how
And
he
then-
like attacked a girl and like branded an H on her for whore. And he's
Yes.
like, but that's not, he's like, oh, he's not very smart. He doesn't know it starts with a W.
Yeah. Yeah, and then her boyfriend steps on a fish hook.
Yeah, and he's like, give me a knife. And then like the way he removes, like, I was in Boy Scouts, man. You were too, right? That's not how you remove a fish hook. You just snip the barb. You push it through and snip the barb.
Yeah, you got to push
Done
it
and
all the way
done.
through.
Yeah, and then snip the barb off.
Yeah, he's an idiot. But
Yeah.
anyhow, while that's going on, the sister Shirley is off in a field sunbathing nude,
Oh.
and
Oh,
she's
my.
laying there naked. And
I
then
didn't see
there's
that.
there's this guy who's like working for the boyfriend, like working on his
Mhm.
boat or whatever. And he's this little fucking twerpy guy, but he thinks he's hot shit. And he comes over, and he just fucking takes his clothes off, and we got Wiener. And
Oh,
he just
shit.
yeah, and he just goes right next to her. He like stands like so the sun's like coming down on her, and he stands in like to shadow her, and she looks up.
Is there
and
just a shadow of a boner across her face?
He drops trow, and then he just lays on top of her and fucks her for all of 2 minutes, and then stands, not saying a word, mind you.
That's rape.
And yes, and then puts his shorts on and walks away.
What you just described sounds a lot like rape.
It's exactly like rape. However, he fucked her belly button. Because when they showed the scene, I was like, I don't think so.
That's not how sex works. That's not where the penis goes.
No. But meanwhile, as he's fucking her, and she, okay, yes, David, you are correct. Because without words spoken for consent, it would be rape. But she did want it because they end up fucking again.
Oh, good for
later
her.
on. And she was like, yes, come to me, I
It's
guess.
like, can you do that belly button thing again? It's like, absolutely.
That really worked on me. But that friend, Nicky, the gay guy, he's watching all this happen.
Oh, shit.
And he's like standing
He's
there.
jealous?
And he's got his hands on like this barbed wire fence, and he like squeezes the barbs, and he's got like
makes his hands bleed?
Yeah. And I'm like,
Oh, man. What do you care, pal?
exactly. And then I was like, does he like the guy, or does he like the girl, or
Yeah, you should be happy for her.
is he
You guys
just
are
pissed
friends.
off? I don't know.
That's weird.
So, but then these two end up having sex again, but they're standing up, and they're she's in front of him but turned around, so they're both facing the same way. So he's getting at her from behind, but she's standing up like straight.
Oh,
And-
so his penis has to be very hooky, like a
it has
banana.
to be. He has to have like like a banana or a fish hook.
Yeah.
Because I was like,
Maybe he's like a duck. Like ducks have weird shaped penises.
do they?
Maybe he's got a duck dick. Yeah,
Oh, fucking Duck Dick. That's his name.
that's what he's got. He's got a duck dick.
Yeah. So, and meanwhile, Duck Dick is married because somebody asked him. They're like, "How's your wife doing?" And he's all,
Oh, that's that. Okay, so that Jay guy, that's the guy that bangs her.
Duck Dick.
That
yeah.
explains so much though, because later in the movie, there's a scene where like that seems to come out of nowhere, where she's really upset with him. So if there were sex scenes that were in there somewhere, that would make a lot more sense. Because I was like, what's going on between these two?
Guess what? It doesn't make any sense in the fucking sex scene version either. Because I was watching it and I was like, why the fuck is she all of a sudden pissed off? She was just she wanted to fuck him 2 seconds ago. He did. She liked it. This is when he duck dicks her, and then
Yeah, maybe she doesn't like duck dicks.
it might be it. That might be it. But it gets all pissed off that night, and then fucking Duck Dick's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go check on the boat." Okay, so let's talk about this boat. Fucking this old fucking saggy
Rob.
balls boyfriend. He's got old balls. He's building a boat for whatever reason,
Yeah, I didn't understand.
and it's out in this barn.
Oh yeah, he's like, I'm gonna go check on the boat, and that's like when the Mac guy is talking to his girlfriend on the boat, and he steps on the fish hook. The dude fucking belly flops off the boat to go check, and I was like, dude, I would have asked the director, can we do another take? I totally fucked that up and looked like
That
a
guy,
horse's ass.
His dive from that boat, I was like, God damn, this guy is a fucking
damn.
loser.
It had to hurt. Can't even dive right.
He's stepping
Come on,
on
Marie, you can do
fish
better.
hooks.
He's stepping on fish hooks, belly flopping.
He sucks.
Ridiculous.
But he's got money.
Yep.
He's got money to build a boat out of chicken wire. That whole
Yeah,
subplot was stupid.
I didn't understand. Yeah, what was the point? Well, just I guess so we can get the Otis character, because Otis is the guy that's building the boat for him, and then he
He's
brought his
helping.
friend Jay out. 'Cause he's some sort of engineer or something to like oversee the project and to work with Otis. And Otis
Yeah.
gets all pissed. He's like, "I work alone. I don't want to work with somebody else."
And this Otis guy, he's the guy from the beginning of the movie who we saw with the chainsaw that was attacking Marie.
Marie.
Or so we think. But she, or he, also has like a dead brother that he visits.
Yeah,
his grave.
yeah, at a gravesite with tombstones being propped up by rocks.
Yeah.
And tombstones very, very close to each other and in weird spots where a tombstone wouldn't actually be. I was
Yeah.
like, that is a very fake
It's like
graveyard.
someone's lawn at Halloween.
It looks like my house.
Yeah, it's
at
like your house
Halloween.
with the bottles of empty bottles of alcohol holding up the
Holding him up.
But he goes there and talks to him, and I like how the tombstone is just like painted on, like wood, like the words.
Yeah.
And it says died, D-Y-E-D.
Right. Died 1976.
Like he just tie-dyed something in
They just
1976.
dipped him.
So that's Otis. He's doing the boat. So anyway, this Jay guy, this duck dick, he's all pissed. Well, the girl's all pissed off at him for whatever reason. And they're supposed to have a dinner, I guess, that night. But he goes, I'm going to go check on this boat. And so he goes out to the barn, and it's nighttime. And now we see there's like a masked killer.
Yeah, and earlier in the movie, I think it was Shirley buys a mask like at a store. I think she buys it for Nikki or something. But
Yeah.
I was like, oh, when's that going to come into play?
Exactly.
I wonder what's going to happen with that mask.
So this masked killer has put on gloves, like workman's gloves, and he has like a turtleneck. So we can't see any of this person's like skin, because now they have a mask on. So we don't know who is the killer.
Who's the killer?
But the mask isn't a skull mask like on the front of the movie one sheet. It's like this fucked up
It's like a totally different mask.
ghoul looking fucking thing. And anyhow, this guy goes out there and he strangled. This is the first kill.
Yep.
50
He, like,
50 minutes
garrots
into the
him.
movie. Yep. Yeah, but it's like this guy dies instantaneously.
Yes, he dies immediately.
He's like, someone came up behind him with something, choked him, and he's all,
Dead.
I don't think that's how choking works.
No. So he chokes you, and your eyes just turn into X's. Like, oh, I'm dead now.
You're either dead or you're drunk.
Oh, I got a question about this dinner party. So
Okay.
in the cut that you saw, did they explain what the fuck is going on and why they're all dressed super fancy and why Robert's wearing a goddamn tuxedo
No,
in
they're
this
just having-
farmhouse?
They're just having a dinner party.
Okay, it's a very
sister-
fancy affair.
And the sister has like this nice fucking like sexy like lingerie on underneath. Mm-hmm. But then she's got like a fucking Mormon like dress, like with a collar up to her fucking
Yeah,
chin.
yeah, very
And I'm like,
conservative.
what the fuck are you wearing?
Yeah, what's
Susan
going
B.
on
Anthony?
Yeah, I didn't understand.
But they start their dinner, and then this Mac guy comes, and the boyfriend, the old man, he's like, "Oh yeah, you can borrow my car because this Mac guy is gonna take the car out to take his daughter,
Take his daughter
out
to
to a
the
movie.
movies. Yeah.
And to go see Private Benjamin or something."
Yes. And Maria's like, but if he takes the car, well, then we won't have any way to leave.
Oh, we won't need to leave.
Yeah. What? Look right into the camera and say that one more time, please. Right, audience? Everybody get that? We're trapped here.
A lot of red herrings in this movie. Mac is a red herring. Well, okay, Mac's not the killer, so I'm gonna throw that out there. But Mac's a red herring.
Yeah, because the whole movie, I'll be honest, I was like, it's Mac or Otis.
You didn't guess it?
No, but when it happened, when we get the big reveal, I was like, oh, fuck. Of course I should have guessed that.
I guessed it.
Yeah.
Winner.
Nice. Well done. I did not. I was fooled.
But it wasn't. So it wasn't Otis either. So there's your red herring. But anyway, and we know it's not Duck Dick because he died. So now,
And we also know it's not Robert because he was with other people, I think, when the deaths occurred. So it's like, it's not him either. But
Which
yeah,
one's
he wants to go for like a lover's walk with Marie.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh, let's go take a stroll around the lake or something.
yeah, and so now it's Nikki and Shirley are left in the house, and this fucking scene.
This is the weirdest fucking thing I've ever seen. And it goes on.
She puts
For
on
so
a record.
long.
She puts on a
Yes.
record of like tango music. What is it?
I don't know.
Yeah,
It was
It's kinda-
bizarre. And then she's like doing a little seductive dance, like for
She
Nikki.
takes off her fucking Susan B. Anthony dress, and she's got the lingerie on, right?
Yeah.
And then she grabs this hat pin, like
Yes.
this long fucking pin,
like a
and
sewing needle almost kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and she's like using that to like fucking seduce this Nikki.
Nikki?
And Nikki's getting hard from it.
Yeah, he seems really into it. I was like, I don't understand this guy.
And they start fucking around, but they're doing like this little cat and mouse chasey type fucking game in the house.
Yeah, she's teasing him.
But not before she like paints him up with fucking makeup too. So he's got like eyeshadow on and lipstick, and they're playing this fucking sexy time game.
Yeah, it was bizarre.
And then like the record starts over again. They had like autoplay on their hi-fi system. This guy's got money.
Yep.
He's got top of the line.
Shit.
But they are doing this, and then all of a sudden the killer comes in, and he grabs that fucking pin and he shoves it right in Nikki's ear, going right to his fucking brain. And Nikki's
that can't feel good.
Ooh, ooh.
Yeah, he's fish flopping.
By the way, that actor who plays Nikki, his name was Christopher Alpert. He has passed away.
Oh.
He died young as well. Oh, but only a couple of years ago. He was in the show Mad Men, which I never really watched. But he was the dad of the main of the
Don Draper, his dad.
I think so.
Okay.
Somebody's father.
I don't remember that show all that well. I watched it for like a few seasons, and then I think I checked out.
Yeah, so he was on it in the beginning, but what happened was he got killed in an avalanche.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it wasn't like natural causes. It wasn't anything like that. It wasn't even like got hit by a fucking drunk driver. It was a fucking avalanche.
Yeah, hit by snow. That's crazy.
He fucking died.
Wow, that sucks.
They had to write him off the show, I guess. They said that he died in some plane accident that happened in like a famous plane crash that happened in the 60s. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, nuts.
He's probably the best actor in the movie.
Yeah, he was. That's why I looked him up.
I was sad when he got stabbed and fish flopped. I was like, oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah. Shirley, meanwhile, the sister, she's still belly dancing around.
Yeah, because she didn't see what happened to Nikki.
Yeah. She finally does discover his body, and she goes running. She goes down to the basement. Oh, let's talk about this basement.
Oh, yes, because we also get a good wink at the camera moment in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah. So the old man goes down to the basement to, like, grab...
He goes down there to get a pair of gloves because somebody nailed a dead bat to the door.
That's right. And so
he goes down, first arrive.
He goes down to the basement, and he's like, calls upstairs. He's like, hey, can you turn the top light switch? I always forget that the top light switch is the one that turns the power on down here.
Yeah, not the other light switch. Yeah, wink, wink.
So,
yes, I will hit the top light switch, Robert.
So she runs down to the basement, and the killer's chasing after her. The killer grabs her, and like, I mean, she's not putting up
She does not put up a fight.
No. That guy was flopping like a fish. She gets caught. She acts like a dead fish. She just lays there.
Yeah. Oh.
She sounds like Orson Welles when he's drinking champagne.
Oh, the French champagne.
The killer ties her up on a table saw.
Like a table saw, yeah.
And he takes the plug to the table saw and plugs it into the light switch.
Yep.
And then he goes and turns on the light, but he turns the wrong fucking light switch because he doesn't turn the top one.
Yeah. Dope.
And then he's all pissed off.
She's spared for now. He's like, oh,
he's like, well, fuck you. And then he leaves. He just leaves her
I'll come
tied up.
back and kill you later.
Yeah. I'm going to go find an extension cord.
Yep.
So, what movie was that where they had the extension cord? Oh, that was that Halloween movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember what it was called, but yeah, the extension cord scene, that was pretty funny.
Yeah. It's the one where that guy leaves fucked up candy out for trick-or-treaters. Candy corn. He leaves out the candy corn, the bowl of candy corn.
Oh, yes, at the very beginning. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember what that movie is called.
Something party, right? Killer party?
Maybe.
I don't know. It was something like that, because the guy goes to that Halloween party.
Yeah.
And he's like the guest of honor.
They're going to kill him.
Quote, unquote. Yeah.
But anyway, that movie was better.
Yeah, so now it's just Marie in the house, basically. And then the killer then comes for her.
Oh.
And I think this is where...
Yeah. And then,
this is where we get the big reveal, right?
No, not yet, because the old man dies. He gets pushed out of the window.
Oh, that's right. Yes, you're right. Because the old man comes in, he finds Nikki's dead body. He grabs a shotgun because he means business.
Yeah, well,
and he's kind of looking around.
He grabs like the longest rifle I've ever
That's
seen.
true. Yeah, it wasn't even a shotgun. It was a rifle.
It
It was a fucking musket.
Yeah, I almost felt like it was like one of those ones like in cartoons where it has like the trumpeted end.
Yeah. Like an Elmer Fudd gun.
Yes. What's up with those guns? Did those ever exist?
I don't know.
I don't know either, but you always see them on cartoons where they got like a trumpet on the
gun.
end. And I'm like, I don't know if that would work. Maybe that's why they don't exist anymore. That's your fucking Second Amendment right there. That's the kind of gun you can fucking
I
own.
need a trumpet gun to protect my family. But yeah, so the killer and Robert, they like have a little struggle, and Robert just gets his fucking ass tossed out of a window.
Tossed out of a window,
did.
lands on some fucking machinery, and like it all comes. He fucking dies like Roy in Friday the 13th Part 5.
Part 5, yeah.
So he's dead. So now it's just Marie
Yeah.
and the killer. And the killer sees her and then just stops and sits down at the fucking dinner table and proceeds
He's like,
to
you
take
gonna
off
eat that?
proceeds to take off his mask. And it's her ex-husband.
Greg, her ex-husband. That son
Who's
of a
like
bitch.
who's like a fucking senator.
Yeah, I don't quite understand his motive, other than he's just an asshole, I guess. So he
Yeah.
wanted to kill all of her friends and her.
I guess so. But
It was weird.
now he's gonna kill her, but she runs, and then he goes chasing after her. They're going out to the
There's a weird
barn.
time leap here,
Oh,
where it goes
God.
from like they sit down and they're at night, like they're talking at the dinner table. Then all of a sudden it's morning because that
they
Mac
haven't
guy's going to
moved.
bring the car back, and they're still there. I was like, did they sit at that fucking table all night? What did they talk
Yes.
about? What was the conversation?
Maybe they just didn't talk. I mean, there's some
They
things
just looked
that
into each other's eyes. Or maybe they're like, that was the best thing about our relationship that I really miss is we could just have great conversations and just talk all night
yeah,
and just lose ourselves in conversation.
yeah. And before you know it, it's 6
It's
o'clock
like,
in
oh
the
shit,
morning.
I got to kill you now. Oh,
Well, they end up going out to the barn, I guess, to see this fucking boat or something. I don't know. He grabs her and like takes her. She puts up zero struggle.
no, zero struggle. She doesn't run or anything.
Yeah, it's something with those sisters. They don't put up any struggle.
Yeah, they're very lazy.
But Mac comes over, and David's right. Mac comes over to drop the car off, and he's looking through the house, and he sees like some shit's been tossed around, and he's calling out people's names, and nobody's answering. Well, he goes to the fucking basement entrance door, and he hits the
Yeah, hits that light
the top
switch.
light switch, and the woman was still alive downstairs,
Yep.
but not anymore.
Not
but,
anymore.
But he doesn't hear it. He doesn't hear her.
No, he just
He doesn't
walks
hear
out
the
of the room.
table saw.
No, apparently
No.
not. It's very hard of hearing. We should all say this Mac guy, he's got a thing for Marie because they have a couple moments too that are really weird.
But so does
And
she.
in the version that you saw, there's like was there a scene? So there was a part like where they're in a barn and she's like touching a cow's udders and getting all horny and stuff, like rubbing this
yeah.
cow's little nipple. And then they
Yeah.
kiss. Is that all that happens? They just kiss? Because then she gets upset and she tries to run away and she hits him over the head with a lantern.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I was
That's
like,
pretty much.
that scene was so weird. It's like, what gets me really hot? Cow boobs.
Teats.
Udders. Little cow titty.
I remember I was watching an episode of Reading Rainbow when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to watch that show all the time. And LeVar,
And LeVar
Burton
Burton was like, you want to know one of my kinks? Udders.
he was milking a cow, like, because he'd always do like these different adventures.
Yeah.
And he was milking a cow, and he kept calling them teats, and I was just like very uncomfortable. Like, I know that's what they're called, but
Yeah, it is a funny word.
I don't need Geordie LaForge telling me about cow
No.
teats.
Teats. He
Mac
finds
comes.
Nikki's dead body.
He finds
And
all
he's
the
like,
dead
"Oh, shit."
bodies.
He grabs a machete. It's like, all right, it's go time.
Yep. And he starts going after. Well, he sees Marie, and then he sees this dude who's chasing after Marie, I guess. I don't know. There's some other shit that happens, but him and this
Yeah.
dude start fighting. And he's got a fucking machete, and this Greg guy has a stick. It's like, you win,
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah, and Mac's a bigger guy. Like, you should be able to take
Yeah.
this guy down fairly easily. But
Nope.
no.
Greg puts up a fight, and then Mac picks up a chainsaw. And we get like a little fucking Mandy like chainsaw battle going on.
Yeah.
Well, in the struggle, the chainsaw's still on, and it's just laying down there. And
Yeah, because Greg knees Mac in the balls.
that's right.
His one
That's right.
weakness, his testicles.
Well, Greg is like on top of Mac, and he's like holding him down, and he's like gonna get him. And that's when Otis comes.
Yep.
And
now
Otis
we're essentially back at the beginning of the movie.
he picks up the chainsaw and he shoves it right in this fucking Greg's back,
Yep.
kills him, and then he's
dead.
walking with the chainsaw, and Marie's screaming, and that's kind of what we see at the beginning.
Right. So it's like, so did he end up killing Marie? We'll never know. Or was
I
he
don't think
just
he
a
did.
hero?
I think
don't
he was
think
just
so
a
either.
hero, because then all of a sudden like happy bluegrass music plays.
But he also branded that chick in that flashback too, so Otis is not a good guy either.
But wasn't that just a rumor?
Yeah, maybe.
But
Probably.
regardless, he goes.
We'll never know.
He goes back and talks to his dead brother at the grave, and then the movie ends.
Yep.
And every time there was a freeze frame, it happened at the beginning of the movie, and right here there was the number
Yeah.
1 appeared. Did you see that?
Oh, I didn't notice that. I didn't notice.
Also, I want to say that there was a lot of boom mics.
Oh my god, dude! I was counting them for a while, and then I ran out of fingers, toes, and penises to count all of the boom mics that were visible. But I actually looked this up, and
Yes.
apparently, yeah, the movie was released in the wrong aspect ratio, and it was supposed to be chopped. So I guess I'll forgive them a little bit for that. But when I was watching, I was like, dude, is it fucking amateur hour or what? Like, there's boom mics everywhere.
Yeah. So according to the director, David Paulson, the photo laboratory had failed to reframe the aspect ratio,
That sucks.
and he was pissed because you just see the
I'll bet.
boom mics everywhere. And then during the Cannes Film Festival screening, him and his wife like put tape on the top and bottom edges
And
of
just
the film,
fixed it by hand.
so they could of the camera, I guess, or the projector, so it would give them the correct aspect ratio. But you know what happened to me one time? I went and saw that movie Pleasantville at the
Mhm.
movie theater, and for some reason, when they were showing it, the aspect ratio was all fucked up. So it was like 4:3 aspect ratio.
Oh shit! Like fucking
Instead
like
of
a
the-
TV.
Yeah, it was square. And
Oh, that sucks.
everybody was like kind of squat and weird, but you could see the boom mic in every shot. And I was like, what the fuck is going on with this movie? This movie really sucks. I mean, I know the aspect ratio is fucked up, but I can see the boom mic. But then when they fixed it, you couldn't see the boom mic.
Oh,
So
that
that's kind
sucks.
of weird, is like in
Dude,
film,
when I saw The Thing recently, the
Yeah.
40th anniversary screening, the aspect ratio was fucked up, and like all these people were pissed about it, and then
Dude,
they fixed it like the next day. But like
Dude,
the version
fucking-
that I saw, it was fucked up.
Mick Garris went on Twitter and was pissed.
I saw that. Yeah. You know what's funny though, because I didn't quite notice it. Like when I saw it, I was like, something seems off, but I couldn't put my finger on it. And then afterwards, when I saw his tweet, I was like, oh, that's what it was.
Speaking of The Thing, you watched the Blu-ray
Mhm.
special features not that long
Oh,
ago,
yeah.
and you were telling me that there was a TV version of this movie that came out of The Thing. We're going to talk about The
Yeah.
Thing right now, not Savage Weekend, but of The Thing. And there was something weird about that.
Yeah, and it's so on the Scream Factory Blu-ray release, they actually have the whole movie, and it's like a TV version that I guess was originally shown, and I guess they don't show it anymore because I don't know if Carpenter or somebody got pissed. But they added all of these weird narrations about all of the different characters. So like the first time we see a character, like you get like a voiceover like McCready, helicopter pilot, blah 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 blah, Dr. Kappa, and the guy's got an accent, Dr. Kappa. But it was, the thing that was interesting is you do learn a little bit more about what each character's actual role was there, but it's fucking weird, and it makes you feel like you're watching like an old 40s like newsreel or something. It was very strange. I'm
Didn't you
glad
say
that they
John
took it out.
Carpenter? John Carpenter got pissed.
I would imagine so. I'm not positive. I can't remember the actual story, but I would imagine he caught wind and was like, fuck this.
See, I was telling my wife that, and I showed her the clip that you had sent me, and she goes, "Oh, I would have liked that." And I'm like, "What?" She goes, "Yeah, because then you could have known, everybody and what their jobs were there." And I was like, "I guess, but I don't.
Yeah.
You don't need to know all that shit to enjoy the movie."
Well, it made sense. Like now, having seen it in both versions, there's like a part where like they want to go up in the helicopter and they ask Norris about the weather, and he's like, "Oh, it should clear up," or I don't know. He says something about the storm or the wind or whatever, and it's because or not Norris. I'm sorry, Bennings. And it turns out Bennings is a meteorologist. It's like, oh, okay. But
yeah,
whatever.
I guess some of that makes sense.
And then there's another voiceover at the very end of the movie too.
What does it say at the end?
Like I can't remember, but like some sort of like mystery, like, oh,
did they
watch
survive?
out for the thing. The
Tune
next
in
thing could
next
be
week.
you. It wasn't that, but it was something cheesy.
They did that a lot with not made for TV movies, but movies that they change when they broadcast them on TV. And I think a lot of it was done back then because there was only 3 networks. And so when they showed a movie on TV, it was on one of the networks, and they only had a 2-hour time slot. And if the movie was long, and they had to have commercials.
Yeah, so you had to make cuts. Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to make cuts, and you have to change things to make things make more sense too. Another John Carpenter film that they did that to was Halloween 2. They cut some certain things out of that, but they added stuff back in. And like at the end of Halloween 2, Jamie Lee Curtis rides away on the ambulance. I guess that's not a John Carpenter film, but John Carpenter adjacent. At the end, Jamie Lee Curtis is riding away in the ambulance. And then fucking, the last Starfighter comes popping up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's alive. Because in the real cut of the movie, we never know what happens to him.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting.
It is. Savage Weekend. This movie is not
let's
interesting.
get back to something not interesting.
I gave it half a head.
I also gave it half a head. This movie
It was so dumb.
So boring.
I just wrote dumb, dumb, dumb. The only thing I'll give it credit for, and this is maybe why it gets half a head, is that a lot of times in these old movies, like Prom Night was a movie we just discussed not that long ago, where there's a masked killer. There was another one where Terror Train actually kind of did this too, but they it's like all of a sudden they're like, oh, it was that guy? Huh.
Yeah.
That was kind of surprising that it was the ex-husband. I mean, I did guess it because, well, very intelligent, but, a lot of times it would have been Otis, you know, that's who it would have been.
Yeah, and that's what I thought too, especially with how old the movie was. I was like, this is going to follow the basic formula. Like, it's that guy.
Yeah.
It's either him or Mac. Yeah, so I was surprised. But other than that, this movie doesn't have much going for it.
Yeah, it gets half a head.
Yeah. My only recommendation would be, like, I mean, as an early slasher, it's more of a curiosity than, like, a must-see type thing.
Yeah, and I don't know where they get their fucking nuts to say that this is an early prototype for the slasher film because it predates Halloween and Friday the 13th.
Yeah. Yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre came out in 74. Like, come on now.
Also predates. And that's what my son
better
said.
Movie.
My son goes, Texas Chainsaw Massacre came out way before this one did. And I was like, huh?
And he said, I love you, son.
You will get to stay in the family. If you've seen Savage Weekend and you have an opinion about it, we'd love to hear from you. Maybe your opinion. Maybe you think it's the greatest film ever. Maybe it's one of your favorites. Maybe there is a Shout Factory or fucking, what's that one, Vinegar Syndrome or whatever release of it on Blu-ray that you're like, this is the greatest movie ever. Why didn't you buy that Savage Weekend one sheet? Maybe you got those kind of thoughts. We'd love to hear from you. How can they contact us, David?
Yeah, on Twitter, Facebook, the Slasher app, TikTok, just search for us under the Swearwolves. On Instagram, we are the Swearwolves Podcast. There's our website, theswearwolves.com. You can email us at swearwolvespodcast@gmail.com, or you can leave us a voicemail at 623-282-1851.
So for the Swearwolves this week, I'm Brett.
I'm David.
And I got a duck dick.